Well, good evening, guys. Rye Guy here. Yeah, you're in my little workspace. Today I'm going to do a little bit something different. I'm going to talk about the true cost of ownership, and I don't mean to pick on any ATV. I'm using my own as an example. To back up kind of what I'm going with here, what I'm going to be discussing is I'm one of these people who take a lot of records of maintenance and things like that ever since I've had the bike. So what I also do is I also keep receipts. So this kind of helps me, go through and understand the cost of the ownership of what I'm running. And when I say cost of ownership, I'm specifically talking about just the ATV or the side-by-side or the motorcycle, the car, the vehicle. I'm not going to be including things like gas, cost of ownership to transport it, but it is going to include parts, my own labor. So this is not going to be any of the workings that I've done with my ATV has always done it myself. So it's just going to be my own labor. So it's going to be raw cost of parts and raw costs of like fluids and liquids and things like that that's going to go in it. So that's what I'm here to talk about today. It's just kind of a true ownership thing. I've owned my Grizzly 660. It's a 2002. I bought it used. Wasn't new. It was new enough when I bought it, but basically when I purchased this bike, it was as new a bike as I could find, and I've owned it for 10 years. If we see here on my maintenance records here, the first maintenance I ever did was an engine oil and filter change. That was done January, February, March. That was done in March 2nd of 2008. It had 132 hours on the motor and 1,230 kilometers on the odometer. And recently, the last little bit of maintenance that I did, like a big maintenance package, would have been a couple weeks ago. We're looking at 13,063 kilometers and 733 hours on the motor. Now, some people put that kind of hours and kilometers on in like 2 to 3 years. I get friends of mine who ride, and you've seen them in my videos. Those guys are insane. They ride all the time. Every time they come home from work, they're on the bike, ready to go. They're going every weekend type thing, which I would love to do. Trust me, I would love to do that. I don't have the time for that. So, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a span of over 10 years, what I've spent on just raw parts for this ATV. So this is, again, my bike's 2002 Grizzly 660. Yeah, so I guess you guys are going to be, I'll do something a little bit filling here. I won't make you watch me go through all of this stuff, but we'll get through some of this stuff, and I'll throw in some footage and stuff like that, and we'll see you in a bit. Open up calculator here, and here we go. And there we have it. So that's pretty much all the receipts that I have. I know there's probably a couple missing over time, but I mean, also considering that every year that we have to register the bike, that's $50. So not even including, you know, I'm not including that, but here you go. I spent $5,544, right on the dot, 0 cents, on parts, just parts alone, since I've owned this bike. So, you know, let's see, 5,544. I'm not good with math in my head. We do that, divide that by 10. You know, $500 a year. Roughly $500 a year. Now, I say $500 a year, but that's not really $500 a year, because you know, there's things like tires that had to be replaced. That's not a yearly thing. There's bearings that need to be replaced. That wasn't a yearly thing. I'm sure I missed a couple of results or a couple of receipts and stuff like that in there too. So, yeah. So that kind of gives you some idea of what you're getting into, especially if you're new into the sport, if you're just getting into, you know, off-roading ATVs, dirt bikes, snowmobiles. Some cost more than others, some don't. There's going to be costs involved in if you swap your bike, you know, there's going to be more oil changes that you need to do. There's going to be, if you ride your bike in a lot of rock, we have a lot of rock here in Nova Scotia, so I go through wheel bearings like I'm eating candy. And yeah, that's how it is. You're going to be up and down with your costing and your prices, but that gives you some idea about what you're getting into in the span of owning something over the long term. And again, that doesn't cover costs like fuel. It doesn't cover costs like rally entry fees, travel time, and this is all my own labor. So yes, if you're not that mechanically inclined, you're going to pay more. Some of these repairs that I've done in the past, they've taken me longer than definitely what somebody else who has done this as a career is definitely going to do, or at the time it's going to take them. But I personally see the benefit in trying to do things and trying to work at things myself. Many of you who follow my channel do know that I have some how-to videos about how to replace parts and various things and work on the bike. Those are more guideline videos than anything else, because they're not true how-to videos. If it was a how-to video, you'd pay money, because Yamaha would be the one who's making them, or Polaris or Honda or whoever. So it's just a guideline. And by the way, a lot of you who view those types of videos actually comment that you're appreciative of them, and I appreciate that very much. It lets me know that, you know, to keep doing those types of videos. But anyway, that was kind of a quick, fun little video, I guess, here on a, not quite drizzly. We've had rain for the past couple days here, so it's been pretty bad, pretty muddy. Next weekend, I'm hoping to get out. There's a rally, and I believe it's a safety-minded ATV association. They're having a rally coming up. Let's see if it's available here, just to see who might be coming up. And it was one of my videos, Chase the Ace, on November 3rd. Okay. Yeah, Chase the Ace. Annual Chase the Ace. 3rd annual. By the way, that club has done quite a bit of work up that way in order to create a parking lot for a lot of ATVers up that way. So, and I did hear on the news, well, on Facebook news, with that club, that people have already gotten out and destroyed the parking lot and spun up donuts and things like that. Be respectful, because I'll say this much: if you're going to keep doing that, you're not going to be doing it much further, because there will be places that will ban ATVs. That's just how it is. So be respectful of your neighbor, and be appreciative of what all these clubs are doing in order to help you have a good time on the trail. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. I appreciate you guys tuning in for this. Like I said, it was kind of a lighthearted, fun thing to do. I will have some new videos coming up here soon, and other than that, have yourself a great day, and we'll see you guys out on the trail. Thanks.